Good morning, WhiteDetails. Monday the 30th of Feb, hope all is well. Next in, week 3 of 3 cars in 3 weeks. First week was the BMW 1M. Second week was the Range Rover Vogue. Mercedes C63 AMG, love these, very cool car. The customer's not used WhiteDetails before. First time of having a car detail. It's a relatively new car to them, as you can see. Very dirty. There's no point in me showing you the paint condition yet because we can't see it. It's that lathered, it's that dirty. It's actually booked for a minor paint correction, but with the full extras pack, the bolt-ons, the protection upgrade, so wheels coming off the car, caliper wheel protection, exhaust protection, 2-stage minor paint correction, full interior treatments, engine bay, glass coatings. Still be a nice turnaround, but the 2-stage polish, we're looking to hit sort of 70-80% correction. So of course the first thing to do is take the beast outside for the full safe wash and decontamination. One thing I will say is when the customer dropped the car off, I was actually offered the chance to take the car for a blast, to enjoy it, to take it for a ride and a spin. Like a busy fool I am, I was too busy and had to miss out on the opportunity. Whoa. Hello. Next time perhaps. Actually, maybe even on pickup day, that would be cool. Take the drone out as well. Get some rolling shots. Vehicle dryer, a very much required, important step to get the vehicle blown dry, bone dry, before we go on to the polishing stage and later on coating the vehicle. But know how to control your hose. It's so easy for paintwork to mark and scratch. Quite often I see hoovers or pressure washer lances, hose pipes, vehicle blowers, braided hoses like this. It's quite a firm, hard plastic, even to the degree of the petrol station pump. You know, when you see people park the opposite side of the pump, grab it, reach around, allow the line, petrol line, to rub over the top of the seeper. It all needs to be avoided to eliminate the risk of inducing scratches, not marring scratches. An example, I had a Golf in a year ago, single-day protection detail. Those customers were with me for the day. Localised corrections on the bumper lip, the rear bumper, where stuff gets loaded into the boot. That was quite bad. It received a 2-3-stage polish. It was looking good. I carried on around the rest of the car as the customer hoovered the boot. And of course, they're just allowing it to rub chafe over the top of the boot lid, not really knowingly. It just comes down to common sense. Now, I went around the back of the car later to do the exhausts, and I see this mess. I see all these scratches and marks, and just, you can literally see the braiding had left abrasions on the plastic bumper. And the customer couldn't believe it. He was gutted. And of course, out the polisher again, redo it, sort it, perfect it. Just something to be mindful of. Something like this has a mind of its own. You'll often see me trap it between my legs. So just another step to help minimise risk of inducing marks. And it just comes down to a bit of common sense. safe wash and decontamination stage complete. The arches have been flushed, ready for dressing later on. Wheels cleansed, ready for protection later on. Vehicle sits now having been wiped down with an alcohol solution just to strip and sort of make sure the paint sort of at its truest form, ready for paint inspection. Yet to look over the paintwork myself. So here we go. That said, I did look over the car with the customer on the day of quotation. So I remember actually there's marks here, deeper marks on the near side front wing. So the vehicle was actually booked for a 2-stage minor paint correction. I was confused, thinking it was going to be a multi-stage major. We did quote for that, some nastier marks on the front bumper, but it's a daily use vehicle. It lives outside, massive amounts of overspray on this leading edge. So a 2-stage polish is going to lift, there's lots of overspray. 2-stage polish is going to lift the majority of the swirls, sort of 70 to 80% paint correction. Sanding marks in the bumper, something's been painted around here. Buffer trails. We have masking marks and overspray on the grille all across the way. Overspray here, this is going to take some shifting. Light holograms, buffer trails, swirls and scratches over the bonnet. The wing mirror is looking a bit tired in the bottom of there. The plastics need sorting there. Polish overlap, I think. Yeah, lots of trails low down. Oh, hello. A nice patch of overspray, lacquer overspray. Rear bumper, deeper marks on the bumper lip. I'll do what I can to them. Plastic lens clusters showing signs of swirling. Deeper suspects on the corner of the bumpers. Exhausts look nicely pitted. That'll come up nice later on. A lovely cluster of sanding marks on the near side rear door. They should be lifted out in the 2-stage. If not, they will be removed with more work if required. Overspray low down. This whole side's overspray. Actually, masking marks and overspray on the sill. Lots to chase out, nothing that the 2-stage can't improve. The car doesn't want to be perfect. We're saving a few £100 by not doing the major correction. At the same time, vast improvements to be made with the minor correction. Just for my own benefit really, I like to get started on the bumpers. And typically they are the most intricate areas to navigate, so while I'm still fresh, rather than start them on day 3, day 4, get them done out of the way. Front, rear bumper, down the side skirts, and I might pick it then up on the roof and we'll work around the sides of the car. A little bit of cheeky overspray, nearly missed you. Just had a massive laugh out loud moment. I've been tagged on Instagram. Hang on. Busy old morning so far. I've had to tell more people off for stealing my copy, my website text. But anyway, tagged on Instagram by UK Supreme Detail. Happy Valentine's Day, sugar tits. Perfect Valentine's Day viewing, better than any rom-com. Happy Valentine's Day, sugar tits. Midday on day 2 on the Mercedes. The bumpers are cut, the bumpers and the side skirts and this half of the roof have now been cut. I tackled the bumpers. Typically it's quite a ledgy, angular car, so there's lots of faces and lots of angles to navigate with the polisher. So the front and rear bumper's done, side skirt's done, working across and down on the wing, and I'm on this door. Kill the big light. Now the finish, this is pre-refinement. So this finish needs refining. You can see it's hazy, it's compounded, and it's ready, and it's ready for the refinement stage. If we go on the near side door, front door, there's sort of swirling and light scratches. And down below, overspray, lacquer overspray, the cloudiness here. As we go lower down, that line is my masking mark from the overlap, but that's not a bad before and after. As I say, the haziness, the blue tinged areas, that's where I've been across with the smaller 3-inch pad doing the cutting. I cut down the side, I cut under the line here, and then the bulk with the middle. It's a minor correction, so it's a 2-stage polish, so there are marks left in here, but outside of the normal lighted conditions, you will do well to see them. Under the spotlight, really heavy metallic flake this. Progress isn't bad. Something I thought I would just mention or touch on, in fact there's been lots of questions about them as well, but the gloves. Just been talking to a chap on Facebook about the vibration of the Bigfoot, the Rupees systems, the polishing dual action polishers. They are quite vibrating compared to the silkiness, the smooth action of a rotary. When I use the Rupes now without these, it does feel bizarre. These are anti-vibration gloves. There's vibration white finger, I think they call it. I wasn't aware of this myself, but white finger, if you Google it, the vibration, the frequency of the sort of the constant jittering, it can damage your blood vessels, your nerves, your joints, in your muscles, in your arm, your wrist, your hand. So these help, actually they really do help. I couldn't tell you what these are, they were just a generic Amazon purchase, but I'll put a few links down below. So if you are using power tools in general, handheld power tools of some description, or the polishers, then definitely worth checking out. Just about gone 7 PM, it's Tuesday, day 2 on the Mercedes, and better progress today on the cutting, well a full day cutting. So I started on the near side rear quarter of the rear bumper, finish off there. Across this half of the roof, I've done the A to the D pillar across the roof line. Near side, across, done the wing, yet to do the bonnet. The vehicle sits on trickle charge overnight, and I'm now cutting down the driver's side. So I've done the wing, everything's quite hazy. At the minute I've done the cutting in on the driver's door. So we've got the swirling present in the centre, but as we go underneath the swage lines, you can see that stops because the edges have been cut. So under here, down there, across, below. So end of play tomorrow, the cutting stage will be complete. I would have perhaps made a start on the refinement stage, which is everything starts to sort of come together with the refining stage. It really does start to piece together nicely. So I'll see you in the morning. Morning. Offside rear door. Some of these marks are quite nasty actually. Pitted, scratched, abrasions. The connection between the reflection of the light here and here just shows the grey haze. So as we've cut the front door, there isn't any of that. This is yet to be improved, it's yet to be refined. As I say, with a minor correction of 2-stage, we're looking at between 70–80% correction. So we have this one here, which would be removed, I'm sure, with more work. Bigger budget and timescales. Merc. The cutting stage, we're nearly there. I'm gonna have another 20 minutes doing some test refining. So over the bonnet's now been cut. The tailgate is yet to be cut, but I'm saving that for tomorrow. I want to just run the refining pass over the bonnet just so I've got a video to show the customer to say, hey, this has now all been cut. You can see how hazy and better it looks at the minute, but this is what it will look like refined. At the end of each day, I give the customer a bit of a 60-second, 90-second video clip on WhatsApp, sent to them just to give them a snippet and a teaser of what's happened that day. So I'm going to run a refiner set over the bonnet and get some footage, and then I might tackle the calipers, treat the exhausts in terms of coat the exhaust of protection, and perhaps make a start on the interior. Got my knees a shot. There we go. Nearing the end of Thursday on the Merc, and it looks stunning. It really has come up well. This paint refinement took quite a while actually. I had to finish off the cutting stage on the boot lid, the tailgate, as well as the gloss pillars, the B pillars down the sides. But the refinement is definitely my sort of favourite part of the polishing stage. It's where everything starts to come together. So the finish before, you might have seen some of the sort of before condition after the cutting, but before the refining, it's hazy, it's patchy, and it's now awaiting application of paint protection. This will happen tomorrow after the paint has an alcohol wipe down to strip off any remaining polishing oil or residue that might be present, just to ensure the paintwork is naked and crystal serum can bond to the paint without anything interfering. So after that, then it leaves the paint protection for tomorrow. Finish off the interior treatment, sort the glass inside and out. Exterior glass is receiving the glass coating. Apart from the windscreen, the windscreen, that's the customer. Uh-oh. You're live on the vlog, sir. Alright, I'll pause that. Back in a bit. So that's me updating the customer. I normally send at the end of each day a 60-second, 90-second sort of video file to them via WhatsApp to be able to say, this is where we're at, these are the updates, this is what the car looks like, and this is what I hope to be doing tomorrow. Remember the overspray on the front grille, on the bright work. There's a big hazy patch there, and then there was a big cloudy patch on this side. All sorted. Next up though, we have the tarnishing on the top of the side lights, fog lights. There's been little updates on the interior side of things, and I know a lot of people are asking to see more of that, but I have to say when I get onto the interior I just like to get sort of stuck in head first and crack on with it. But interior process. This interior wasn't a bad place to be in the first place. So you can see the leather is now drying out. It's been wiped and rehydrated after the deep cleanse. So before we go onto the leather, thoroughly hoovered and vacked. So I'll hoover and vac seats backwards, forwards, up, down, and then I'll get the airline. I'll get the airline down into the seat channels, underneath the seat, down that side, to flush out sort of crumbs and any other bits that you can't get to with the hoover. So it's hoovered twice. I then go onto the plastics, the consoles, and the door cards, and this is tackled with I2 Triclean. After the plastics are sorted, we go on to the leather. So during the vacuum stage, the cracks of the leather are sort of opened up, and the crumbs and the crevices are flushed out with a soft bristled brush. Leather cleaning is made with Dr. Leather wipes. Now I like the convenience of wipes, it's just handy. This is a 150 wipe tub, it's quite a large thing, but they do sell a 40 wipe tub as well, which is kind of just handy to have and maybe just chuck one in the glove box. What I will do is, after the wipes have been used, I will just use a damp microfiber cloth, a clean damp, not dripping wet, but a damp cloth, rinsed off in the bucket. This is the rinse water after the leather, just to wipe away the residues and hydrate the leather. And you can see it's now starting to dry as one. This will be topped and protected with Gtechniq L1 leather guard. Same for the armrests, same for the steering wheel. Really nice, comfortable seats. So yeah, interior, you can spend a long time on an interior if you go into the extent of the Range Rover you saw in the last episode, vlog 16, the toothpick on top of the gear knob with the lettering where it says Range Rover. You can really go to town. Obviously being all black, it's quite forgiving, and it's difficult to spot the grubbiness, the dirtiness on the plastics. The consoles, I've still got the mats to do, of course. They'll be scrubbed and shampooed and protected with i1 Smart Fabric, as well as the floor mats. Interior, it's almost there, to be honest. I've then got to go on to paint protection. The paint currently sits naked. There's nothing on this at the minute at all. It's ready for application of Gtechniq CS Black, crystal serum topped with EXO. After that, God, I'm sweating. Gtechniq G1 clear vision is on the glass, only on the sides, the sunroof and the rear. The front screen will be clean on the inside, but not been coated on the windscreen yet. Reason being, on Tuesday of this week coming, it's being replaced because there's a little chip, there's a little crack. Now it's unfortunate that it has to go away to have this work done now. It's just a bit backwards in the timings. I did offer the opportunity to have the screen replaced when the vehicle is here, but the screen needs calibrating because of all the cameras and the sensors, and they wouldn't change the glass without that being done at the same time for sort of safety reasons. So there we are. protection, I'm going to touch on the trim. I think I showed a snippet of this earlier, but the both wind mirrors. There is some staining from what looks like sort of polish residue or wax in the past. So it's a common thing. There's lots of people suffer with it on the plastics in the front end. So how do we go about shifting? I'll just show you the near side as well. It's more on the base plate here, so all this wants to come off before treating. Just a bit patchy and messy. So what you want is some of this. It's a magic sponge. I've got quite a lot of it up there. You can use it with great care on the interior, so only on sort of the kick boards on the sills where you jump in, the scuff marks on the door cards, that sort of stuff. It is aggressive, and I only recommend it as a worst case scenario. So it can, if it's a textured surface, if it's a mottled textured plastic, then this can flatten the texture. That's how sort of abrasive they can be. You want to lubricate it. I'll just use some Gtechniq i1 Triclean. And then you can just very, very lightly, the weight of the sponge, slight pressure if needs be, to sort of work at the area. If it's going to come off, it will come off quite quickly or quite easily. If it's not going to, you sort of give up. It's a scuff, it's cosmetic damage. But this is the perfect way of removing said polish residue or wax residue. Obviously here, it's going to be a delicate operation for me to safely remove this without catching the sponge on the paintwork. So whilst we have this and it's all the way to the very edge of the plastic, we're going to have to then mask off the paintwork to enable us to clear that up safely without the sponge being used in the paint. Do not use the sponge on the paint. Not recommended. Ten minutes later, with the plastics now dry, oosh, free from staining the polish residue, and now awaiting application of the correct dressing. Offside, sorted. If you would like to know more, as with most things, I talk about the leather wipes, Dr. Leather wipes, as well as these, the magic sponges. The links in the description down below if you want to go check them out. So as well as cleaning the rear glass, I find this method the most efficient and easiest. I need to take out the NAF dealership window sticker. Now this is really quite stuck on, so I just need to lift one edge. That's gonna be a nightmare. I regret doing that. Now normally they're not this bad, but this has left a lot of glue behind. Brilliant. So this is a tar and glue remover. It's used for sort of the registration plate sticky pads. It's used for the removal of road tar deposits on the wheels, the bodywork, and any tacky areas or grease that you've got in the door shuts or engine bay, and for this sort of stuff. Oh, that's one done. With the sticker removed, Gtechniq G6 perfect glass to remove the rest of the film and the grease. If you can still see smears, that's on the outside. That's the Gtechniq G1 glass coating being left to allow to cure. trim's the dress. Finished, Mercedes C63 AMG. Vehicle looks awesome. I've put more hours into it than I thought I would have done or should have done. But again, I know what I'll be happy with myself, so I'll work to that level. A real quick finish hopefully on this one. So I've just got off the top of my head 3 questions, quick fire Q&A, that really hurt. But also I recorded a Q&A with the 1M, which I didn't use in the end because the length of the vlog, it was like 44 minutes and it would have topped it to an hour. So I kept the Q&A for that separate, but still sort of relevant and more in depth than what I'm about to sort of go into. I touched base quickly on lots of people asking what are buffer trails, what cause buffer trails. I sort of give my opinion and my views on that. The rotary extension bars, I talk about them, and then a bit of an educational piece to say actually what we're trying to achieve. So the paint correction, what are we actually doing in the processes of polishing. To end this one, there are 3 questions that I can think of without checking the phone, but excuse me. Someone asked what pants I'm wearing. I guess you mean trousers. These are Engelbert Strauss. They've got an elastic bum, so they're really flexy and comfortable. In fact, Engelbert Strauss, Engelbert Strauss, Engelbert Strauss. It's brilliant kit, really good workwear. I'll put a link to their website down below. Another question coming in is sort of how much does this service cost on the YouTube comments, and it's just every job's tailored to the individual needs of the customer. I don't want to start publicly sort of throwing numbers around. It's always best to come to me direct for an individual quote. I learn your priorities, what you want, what are the options, the upgrades, the bolt-ons, the protection, and that's the best way to go about that. And more people are asking me how I find the time to record the footage and to do the vlogs. The actual recording elements, so this part now, this is going to be maximum 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes or so, but throughout the day it doesn't take a lot to pick up the camera, flick through the modes to say time lapse, done, record, done, stop, start, and it's just throughout the day, snippets here and there. You just got to be sort of in the back of your mind planning what shot you want, which I quite enjoy. But the most time consuming part is obviously when I get back to the office and I'm sat on the laptop, put the edit together. But that's kind of, I like that creation aspect, I like the creative side there. That said, you can only work with what you've got. So similar to a detail, I can only do so much on the car due to its condition. I can only edit the footage that I've recorded. So I need to make a point of sort of getting, hopefully this is on par with the rest, but who knows. But also the time, yeah, it does, I've got used to the software now. I'm getting more and more familiar with the editing side of things. Since the vlogs have started, I've picked up, well, 6,500, 7,000 subscribers there now since November. So it's now 17th of Feb today. The vlogs are priceless. They really have built the brand to well beyond why see myself, to be honest. There are a lot of good detailers in the UK. I probably wouldn't even put myself personally, or wouldn't put myself in the top 10. There's a lot of knowledge, there's a lot of skill. The vlog, it's given me a platform and it's put me sort of way up there. It allows you to show off, it allows you to sort of brag a bit more, and that's why the time taken, yes, there is an element of free time required. And so a lot of people don't have that, so I'm sort of lucky that I can take the time in. I have no commitments. I'm a single bloke and I have no sort of family commitments or a wife to please or entertain. The vlogs just show that bit more than what a photo report will. The areas where you think a lot, if you're a detailer, you'll do things, you'll be on your knees, on your back, doing something you think, Christ, the customer's never going to see this, why am I? But that's the sort of stuff that you record, that's what you show off about, and that's how you differentiate yourself to the rest. There's so many operations and outfits now selling detailing services, it's difficult to stand out. So this for me is perfect because it allows you to. The vlogs have pushed the diary way back into the year, into 2017. Today is the 17th of Feb, and the diary, the earliest I have any availability for, is the second week in August, which is brilliant for a financial side, for a business, but at the same time, not great because I'm losing work, and I know I am. There have been 4 confirmations of recommendations from myself, referrals from myself to other detailers to say, look, can you take on this job? I can't accommodate it. And yeah, okay, the businessman would obviously employ someone and get someone else in and get more cogs turning and make this a big operation, but that, I don't want that. I don't want to be a conveyor of cars. I don't want to be turning over 3, 4 cars, 5 cars a week. I'd rather concentrate on, I'm not interested in quantity, it's sort of the quality, and it's not a numbers game for me, which I hope probably shows. I think I'm going to get out of here now. I've got to run around the Merc with the after footage. Whilst it's still in the air, I'm going to take you around some of the lower portions, because it's easier to film those spots on the bumpers and the sills, show you the true condition and the correction. Just to round off and recap, a 2-stage minor paint correction detail. The first stage being the cutting stage. We're digging into the lacquer, we're removing 70-80% of the defects, paint swirling, light scratches, buffer trails, the oxidation we saw, and just restoring and boosting the clarity. Then the refining stage comes in and pulls the clarity further and adds the gloss. On top, the paint has been protected with Gtechniq CS Black, Gtechniq's flagship paint protection package, crystal serum topped with Exo version 3. The wheels, the calipers and the exhaust trims coated throughout with Carbon Collective platinum wheels. Interior work, full leather cleanse, leather protection, fabric protection, the plastics, the consoles, the engine bay, and the glass has been coated with Gtechniq G1 Clear Vision. So a nice thorough job throughout, all surface protection for the vehicle now. Going forward, it should be a doddle to maintain, given the correct maintenance and the correct sort of mindset and approach to the wash now. So if the customer were to choose to take the car to the roadside car wash, which is not recommended, it would be a matter of washes before scratches are reintroduced. So it's very important now that any contact is bad contact unless in a controlled manner during the wash stage, during the safe wash. Check out at the end of the video, I'll put a reference to the Q&A I recorded with the 1M, the BMW 1M. I'm gonna run around the Merc now, enjoy the after footage. Thank you for the support, thank you for the kind words and messages in the week. I even had a couple of phone calls this week to say, look, a couple of guys went out their way to actively phone me to thank me, saying that how much they appreciated what I'm doing, and that is very humbling. So be sure to check out Instagram, WhiteDetails on Instagram and Facebook. There's lots of updates and daily insights there to check out. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel to grow. Subscribe to the channel, and until next week, cheerio.
appreciate it in different lights. When you go to the petrol station, you see it in the sun. And it just comes into its own. It's incredible.
And you really know what you can do.